16-year-old plane crash survivor Autumn Veatch is sharing new details of her harrowing escape. As we've reported, her step-grandparents died in last weekend's accident in Washington state's Cascade Mountains. She spent nearly 3 days trying to make it out of the wilderness. John Blackstone learned how no one is more surprised by Veatch's survival than her.
Who were you thinking of when you were coming down that mountain?
I was thinking of a few friends and my boyfriend and just my dad, family.
And did you worry that you weren't going to see them again?
I was almost certain I wasn't going to.
When the single-engine aircraft piloted by her step-grandfather ran into bad weather Saturday, 16-year-old Autumn Veatch was nervous for herself and her step-grandmother, who was also on board.
We had done like a quick swerve earlier. We almost hit a mountain, but he turned the plane really sharply and we made it, and he was like, "Oh, phew, that was a close one."
But then they hit cloud cover again.
No time to react, really?
No, we just went straight into the mountain. It was just clouds, and then it was trees, and then it was fire. I burned my hand trying to pull Grandpa out, and the burns on my face and such are from like the initial fire. Upon realizing that they weren't going to make it, and that they didn't make it, I just started heading downhill.
How are you holding it together?
I really wasn't. I was sobbing, I was panicking, I was so afraid of dying.
Autumn decided to follow a stream that turned into a river.
I was just running and just tripping over branches. There's not really a set path for me to just walk down. I was going through everything.
Hungry and exhausted after a near sleepless night, Autumn had to make her way down a 20-foot waterfall.
I was like, what am I going to do? How am I going to get down this? Because, it was sleek rock on either side. There wasn't really...
And straight down.
Straight down. I ended up just clinging onto one side of the waterfall, like the rocks. It was terrifying. If I would have made one wrong step, I could have just fallen.
On day 3, she found new hope and bitter disappointment.
I could hear airplanes, and I was like, there's nothing I can do to get them to see me.
She finally made it to a road where drivers ignored her cries for help.
Nobody's stopping for you for an hour.
Nope. I was trying to flag somebody down, but I probably looked pretty messed up and stuff, so nobody stopped. I was personally offended. I was like, what, am I too weird looking right now to help?
She finally got help from hikers who took her to a local store and called paramedics.
How do you explain that? For 2.5 days, the determination you had that kept you going.
I really can't. I mean, I'm really lucky, I guess.
Maybe it came from in here, a whole lot of determination.
Yeah, which impresses me. I mean, I'm not a hopeful person, but I didn't give up hope.
For CBS This Morning, John Blackstone, Bellingham, Washington.
Her story's even more frightening when you hear her take us through it blow by blow by blow, to hear that they almost crashed and then avoided it, and then no one picked her up for an hour.
Did her grandparents survive the crash?
No.
We haven't heard that.
She
It sounds like they didn't,
She said
though.
she was trying to pull them out. I didn't know whether they were still alive or not.
No.
And then she realized they weren't going to make it, so she left. But, when you see someone on the road, you think it's scary to stop her. I would at least call someone.
Right.
But it's scary. You don't know if you're being set up. We live in a very crazy world these days. I'm glad she's okay today.